The VAR Show. The one place for your weekly football update.
Hola, very warm welcome to the VAR show. The show which talks about all the various major football leagues in detail. Today we are going to get a theme of interviews, and we have a very interesting coach today with us. We have the head coach of Netherlands under 17 and the assistant coach of Netherlands under 20, Mr. Peter van der Veen with us. So without wasting much time, I would like to first thank Peter for coming on the show. Thank you and welcome to the show, and I would like to begin by asking how are you and what are you doing during this pandemic period?
Well, I'm fine. So as you can see, I'm in the medical room now. So it's not because I'm sick, but it's just a quiet place so to talk with you. But no, I'm quite good. In Holland, there's not a total lockdown at the moment. The professional clubs start training again, but we have to train in small groups. So at the moment, we train in groups of 10, and try to train as maximum we can. So it's difficult, of course, because you have the space you have to keep from each other. And at the Dutch FA, there's no work at the moment. So I'm starting already my internship at a first division club in Holland. And you see it on my chest, it's Excelsior Rotterdam. So it's close to where I live. So it's easy to go and travel to it. So it's nice to be on the pitch again.
So, let's talk about something more lighter, that is football in comparison to what's happening in the world. So, my first question whenever I hear Netherlands, the first thing is Netherlands have been producing excellent players, in the mold of total football. And you have been in the youth age group of the national team, all the groups level you have been. How do you all manage to produce that level of talent?
Yeah, well, I think we have a good environment and a good infrastructure in Holland. So on a Saturday, the best can play the best because the maximum drive in Holland is from north to south is 3 hours. So on a Saturday, when you play at 12 o'clock, you leave at 9 if you play in the north against a team in the south. So it's maximum 3 hours drive. So the best can play the best. And when the best play the best, they develop more and quicker. So I think the infrastructure is a big reason. And a friend of mine from America said, because you use so many bikes, everybody knows how to ride a bike. Your awareness starts at a young age, because when you're driving on your bike, cycle on your bike in the morning when you go to school, you already have to look around you, and the awareness is already starting there, like unconscious. So they say the football players in Holland know where they are on the pitch, and a friend of mine told me, I don't think it's true, but I think maybe it helps a little if you think about it. It's just a funny thing he said. So, and I think we have really good youth academies with good developed coaches, and the players just come and go, and we have a nice wave again now. We have a lot of youth players who are really interesting to follow in the next couple of years. So I'm really trust in the national team in the future.
So again, this is personally being a coach, I would like to ask you, how do you plan out your sessions? Do you all have it like less players, like 1v1, 2v2s instead of a full-fledged team?
Yeah, well, what we're trying to do is you build a session. So you start small and you go to big. So we start technical and we go to tactical. That's the kind of way we work. So if we have a goal in the session in attacking, we start it up in the warm-up already, and then we go to a 1v1 and we only talk about attacking. So we're not talking about a defense because the subject is attacking. So we don't talk about defending. It's there, but we only talk about the subject we wanna train. So then we go to 4v4 or 5v5, and then we build that till we have 18 players, for instance, and then you get a 9v9 at the end with the same problem or the same thing you want to work on in the 1v1. But from technical to tactical, and from technical to tactical.
So like you have worked in both the levels. You have worked with club level also, like with Ajax and few other clubs for youth level, and also with the national team.
Yeah.
Is it like the club level? Do they work out more? Do they have more say on how a player develops than a national team?
Well, I hope I heard you right, but at the Dutch FA, we have like small amount of time. They come from everywhere in Europe, so we have also players at Chelsea, Liverpool, Hoffenheim. So we only have 2 days to prepare. So our sessions are based on defending and attacking, and also based on what I saw from the opponent we played. So we have only 2 days to start before the game, and then everybody has to know what to do in the game. And at the club, there's a whole process of a year, of one season. So you have plenty more time to train with them, sit with them, with video analysis, with how their diet has to be, all kinds of stuff, physical training, all that things. And there's a whole process, and the process at the Dutch FA is just the game. That's their development. So yeah, it's totally different, and for me it's kind of challenging to create a team in 2 days and then play, because they're from everywhere. So it's really challenging, and at the club it's just the process. You just the whole year you work with them, and then they go up a team.
So which one do you prefer, working at club level or national level?
Well, I worked 12 years for clubs, and the challenge was to create a team, and the one thing that's the best at the FA is that you work with the best players. So they're so good. So the enjoyment on the session you see, the level is so high that gives you so much energy, and the smile on your face, because you love football and you see so many nice things because the players are so good. So that's nice to see. So I work now 4 years at the Dutch FA, and I feel like I want to return to a club. So that's why I started my UEFA Pro license to return to a club next year, hopefully.
So are you planning to go into senior team management?
Yes.
Okay.
So next year I'm gonna coach the under-18s Dutch national team. So almost grown-ups, but my internship is with the first team now at Excelsior. So there's adults, and I feel it's also comfortable and nice, and they listen, and I was always curious if they accept me the way I want to train with players, and I get the experience now that it is true. So yeah, that give me confidence to go and to go to seniors.
So I'll ask you about one player. Okay, I'm a Liverpool fan, and I'll ask you about Keane Hoover. How good is he?
Yeah, well, he got some skills. He got everything to become a really good player. The only minor thing, and I think it's the most important, so it's pretty big, is his mentality. Because he's so good, he thinks sometimes it's okay, it will come. He thinks too easy. But when he's sharp and his focus is spot on, he's one of the best. And yeah, he got some weapons. He's almost our fourth attacker because he's playing right back, and his continuous drive on the right side is like he's almost a winger. So yes, technically he's good. He's good with his head. Technically he's really good. And he can score a goal, and also he has a free kick that's really good. So he got a lot of weapons, and yeah, if he can focus himself, he's got a really nice future ahead of him.
So you coach the U-17. So when you're selecting players, maybe for the youth national team, what do you see in the players? Like, how do you select them?
Yeah, well, the most important thing is the mentality. It has to be good. Has to be the winner mentality. That's one thing. The second thing is that they have to be technically good. So that's important because we have short amount of time, they have to be, their learning ability has to be good and quick, because I only explain it once and then it has to be in the head, you know? So that's also important. Technically, they have to be under pressure, make still the right decision. So when the first touch isn't good enough, they will lose the ball. So I look for players who has that technically ability. So there's a few things that's really important. That's what I just said. So I look for that, and of course stamina and all kind of stuff like that.
So moving on to a tactical side, what is your favorite formation? I know the whole of Netherlands likes 4-3-3, and you cannot play any other formation except 4-3-3. But what is your favorite formation?
Well, of course, we start off in a 4-3-3, but when we have the ball, we have like the goalie, then 3 defenders, we have 1 pivot, then we have like 5 players who play underneath the number 9, the striker. So it's a 3-1-5-1 if we have the ball, with a lot of power on the right and the left wing. The wingers come inside. We have a 10 behind the striker, so a lot of creativity and attacking force. That's the way we want to play. And in defense, we play with high press, but also low block 4-4-2. So it's different kinds of formations we have and we use when we attack and when we defend.
So this again, like if when you're defending, okay, like what do you prefer? Do you prefer man marking or zonal or a hybrid?
Yeah, well, we do both, but we like to cover the spaces. So we don't stand next to our man, but we want that one player can defend 2 players of the opponent. So he stands in between those players, and he's just looking at the body language on the player who's on the ball. So when his body position is to the other opponent, then he can leave more the player who's right from him, for example. So he can just move to the left already, because the body position of the opponent, he can't play the other player. Hopefully it's clear, but
yeah, kind of. Yeah. So so I'll move on to more lighter topics. Which is your favorite club in, maybe outside of Netherlands? Which is your favorite club? My
favorite club?
Yeah.
Well, I have to be Switzerland in this one, because I'm working at the Dutch FA, so it's hard, but I like Barcelona a lot. Ajax is playing the same way, so the style of playing I like at Ajax, but I don't prefer really a club, but that's more because
Okay, I'll make it easier for you. Which club do you watch more on TV?
I think it's Barcelona.
Okay.
Barcelona, I watch a lot. But Liverpool at the moment, Man City, of course, because there are interesting things in those teams, the way we want to play with Gegenpressing and all kind of that stuff. So I look a lot to that, to learn from the best.
So, like you said, like you see a lot of mentality and technical ability on Van Dijk, on players, sorry, not Van Dijk, on players. So, like my question is like Virgil van Dijk was neglected by many people, like for many years by scouts. They said that he takes the game too easily. Was that like sometimes some players go under the radar like that?
Yeah, and what was the question? Sorry, I didn't hear.
So, like, do you think like sometimes when you'll focus on so much mentality like that, like when you'll see the first touch, like how you said, Key and Hover, he takes the game easily. So many people felt like the same thing with Van Dijk. So he did not move to England earlier. So do you think like many scouts made mistake then? Now when you look, you think yes, of course you made mistake, but do you think like many players are there like Van Dijk, who do not get the opportunity?
Well, it's when you go to top football, everybody can play. So the difference is in mentality. So if you come in that environment like Van Dijk, you know, every mistakes he makes is punished by the opponent. So he has to be focused, and if he has it, he's going to be topped up. So sometimes you just have to feel it. So you get the experience that, hey, if I'm not focused enough, I get the experience that they punish me. So, but hopefully they get that experience. But you see also a lot in youth academies that players, you know, they don't do their best like 100%. So they send them away. So they have to release him, and they're just pointing to the coach. But you know, they have to see themselves in the mirror, and I think that's important. You know, always start looking at yourself, and then, you know, trying to get better. And of course, we are there as coaches to confront them with that. But when the environment creates his solutions for that, that's the best, because it's a natural way. You know, he feels like, oh, if I do that, I get punished. So Van Dijk playing at Liverpool, playing Juventus, he makes a mistake. Ronaldo is there, he killed it. So he got the experience just by natural behavior. So the coach doesn't have to say anything. It's just what happened on the pitch. So he will be there all the time at Liverpool, because, you know, he has to.
So if you had to describe your team as a coach, how would you describe your team?
Well, as Dutch nation, we're like adventurous, and that's what we want to be, you know, also in football. So, and we want to decide in every team function. So in the transition, we want to decide what happens. In attacking, we want to decide what happens. In defending, we want to decide what happens. So if we play low block, we still have in our minds, okay, if the ball goes there, then we're going to press, and then we're going to catch the ball and play the counter attack. So we want to have control in every team function. And maybe the opponent is not thinking that, but we're in the back of our mind know that we leave them on the ball at the moment because we want to rest or something else, and we have a plan with the low block. So we want to have control in every part of the game. So yeah, and we're like creative people, because we're a small country. We have to travel the world to get our goods and everything. So yeah, that's also in our football.
So because you are so experienced you have worked with so many levels, do you have any advice for young coaches who are coming through?
Yeah, I have, of course. It's always have fun with the kids. That's really important. Create sessions when there is winning and losing in it, because you get the intensity. Because if you play games, people get like tensed and like it if they win. So that's good always. Well, football is about scoring goals. So in the session, you have to create where there's a lot of goals you can score. And we always attach two team functions. So attacking is together with transition to defend. Defending, we train in defending. There's always attached transition to attack. So we always combine two team functions when we create a session. But fun is the most important thing, that the players are at home and have a smile on their face, and the parents ask, why are you so happy? Well, I'm going to train, you know, that's what you want to create. And what's really important, if you want to become a good player or a good coach, you have to do more than others. So you put more time in and effort in things to learn. So the people who watch it now, you know, maybe they.
So you know, like as a coach, do you take inspiration from other coaches?
Yes, of course. You know, I didn't invented football. So yeah, of course, I read a lot, I watch a lot, I see so many games. Sometimes I get my computer and look games back. Try to talk with people who can help me on other levels, not only on football, but on management, for example. So yeah, it's trying to become better every day.
So on that note, Peter, I'll ask you one final question. People say it's very controversial question. Okay, I do not know. They say it's very, very tough question. So whom do you like more, Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo?
Well, the work ethic of Ronaldo is unbelievable, but I love the game and I know how complicated it is. And Messi is just he's the best because he shows that football is really simple, but the way he has, when you show it simple, it's the toughest there is. So, and he can do that. So for me, he's the best.
Is he better than Johan Cruyff?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
But he was great, man. He was great. I saw him live and it was unbelievable. He just was the coach on the pitch already when he was a player, so it was unbelievable.
So on that note, Peter, thank you so much for talking to me, and we wish you all the best for your pro license, what you're doing, and hope you go on to coach big teams, and hope you go on to coach your team you like the most, Barcelona. I don't know. And
Never know.
hope you win all the possible trophies and continue maybe Johan Cruyff's total football. So thank you for talking to me, and hope we can talk again soon. Best of luck and stay safe.
Thank you too for your time and appreciate it, and all the best. Bye-bye.